Hello, pal. Saturday evening. Good time to read the news, no? Lots of you are chilling right now. It's 9 p.m. Eastern Time. For me, it's late. For some of you, it's 6 p.m. But let's get down to business, my friend. Hope you can hear me. So last time we talked about Marvin Ouimet, so we're not gonna go back into that. But there was an update. So, Hell's Angel member, remember based off my memory, what was it, like 2 days ago? My memory's that bad. Based off my memory, remember the guy? He said he was in front of the parole boards, whatever. I think they revoked his liberation. They were about to set him free, and he was in front of the judge, and he was saying, "I'm a changed man. Although I want to stay in the Hell's Angels and all that." He wasn't doing himself any favors at all. But it seems like remember, and they talked about he had a sentence. It says here of 27 years in 2014. So he was supposed to do tons of time. Oh, now I remember. He got 27 years, but when you hit 2/3, I guess you can be released. You got to go in front of the parole board or something like that. I can't remember the details for this guy, but what I do remember is he was in front of the parole board, and they were going to decide if they were going to keep him in or something like this. Well, the decision's out now. It seems it is revoked. So they did revoke him. He didn't do himself any favors. And shout out to Marcel Mathers. What's up, pal? Chris Hinsley. What up, guys? Good evening, friends. Saturday evening. And I saw this. I thought this was interesting. If you were wondering who is Marvin Ouimet, why does it matter? Well, you don't get 27 years for nothing. And he was a Hell's Angels. He still is. He says that he will be as long as he doesn't have to be a criminal. He still wants to hang out with buddies. But who is he? Says ex-member of the Rowdy Crew from Lavaltrie. This is a biker club. Then I guess he joined the Hell's Angels in 1999 here. Accused of 22 murders after the Shark QC operation. I'm perplexed by this. He's accused of 22 murders, or he's part of the grand scheme where 22 people died and it's a Hell's Angels RICO type of thing, Because 22 individually being accused to him having committed it, I don't buy it. I think something's off here with the wording. But it says that accused of 22 murders for the Operation Shark QC. Well, I guess Shark QC, rather, the accused, it involved 22 murders spread among members, right? Can't be all 22 for him. But let's keep going here. In 2014, he pled guilty for that, and then he got 27 years. That's so far we know. He says here, look, so remember, he's supposed to be doing time since 2014 where he pled guilty and he got 27 years, etc., right? Now, on August 31st, 2016, only 2 years later, he benefits with 34 other bikers of a reduction of sentence, right? I always make the joke of Canada. You can get away with stuff. You can argue anything to death, and this was one of the biggest ones when 34. I remember this one is in relation to Shark QC. All that effort went in the trash bin. Nothing works well in Canada, but just a symptom of bigger problems. I don't care about this. There's way bigger real problems that are never going to get solved. But it's just another mirror image of this. But anyways, September 2023, he obtains his liberation after spending 2/3 of his sentence. So that's the rule in Canada. You can commit crime. That 27-year sentence, it's just lip service because you get to do 2/3, And not that I care, but I just care about how honest we are here about electing people, and they say they're going to solve things. And then you wonder why nothing gets solved. But when there's a pandemic, suddenly if they really want it solved, you have no choice. You're not getting a job. You're not going to do anything, It shows you that it's a lot of BS. So here he gets 2/3 in September 2023. So he gets freed. Then a year later, September 2024, so 1 year exactly later, his conditional liberation is suspended. Okay. That's September 2024. That's that year, this year, that just happened, this September here. Then maybe now, February, this month, his liberation is revoked. You got to wonder, why was it revoked? I'm not going to read this entire thing. It's not going to be worth worth it, really, worth very much for us. It's going to be a lot of time spent on this. But he's been revoked. I guess he spoke in front of the Liberation Board. He said he's not leaving the Hells Angels. And also, I remember, now I recall 2 people pointed at him and said that they believe they saw him hanging out with people dealing. They think he's part of a network dealing. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Who knows? But yeah, they don't buy his version. Now, the real main stories, guys. Things not working out in Canada. Tension in prison of Robertval. We've spoken about Robertval. We've spoken about the syndicate of correctional officers who have been complaining all year, rightfully so, that the conditions that they are meeting, such as having to do overtime or you're fired, and basically a modern-day capitalism slavery type of deal, which is happening to almost all of us in the low-hanging part of the pyramid. It's only the guys that are in the mid to top that say that everything's fine. You know, it's fine for them, so it's all good. Well, these correctional officers, they're saying that it's deplorable, and also there's a biker war going on, and these people are more. These criminals are getting away with more and more, and it's completely out of control. They're underfunded. They don't have enough people. Now let's check this video, see if I can catch anything out of this.
La prison Robertval est l'un des derniers établissements à avoir été construit au Québec.
So this is one of the last establishments constructed in Quebec. Talking about prisons, so I guess it's one of the newest ones.
De l'extérieur, la sécurité semble blindée. N'entre pas qui veut dans une prison. Pourtant,
don't worry, it's just a bunch of wordiness to say nothing. Don't worry.
Des agents correctionnels constatent tous les jours des lacunes dans le système.
So the COs are noticing every day the weaknesses of this system.
Qui, selon eux, mettent leur sécurité en péril.
Weaknesses that put their security at risk.
Radio-Canada a recueilli le témoignage de Guy sous le couvert de l'anonymat.
So they're going to talk to a guy named Guy, all right? He wants to stay anonymous, or else he's going to get punished. You know how that works?
Son nom a été modifié.
Oh, they even modified his name. It's not his real name.
Avec les nouvelles imprimantes 3D présentement, les détenus pourraient faire rentrer n'importe quoi.
With the new 3D printers that are being used, inmates can pretty much bring in anything they want.
Tout se dissimule bien dans les cavités corporelles.
Anything or everything does get hidden well or sneaked in pretty easy, I guess conveniently from the body cavities, like your rectum.
Tout ce qui est assez petit, en plastique, c'est pas détectable par nos machines.
Anything that is small, that's made out of plastic, is not detectable by our machines, our scanning machines.
Des prisonniers cachent des outils dans les luminaires, les téléviseurs et sous les toilettes.
So inmates are hiding stuff in the lights, in the bathrooms, I think she said.
Affirme Martin, non fictif, un second agent. Il révèle qu'il est impossible de fouiller une cellule en profondeur.
And this CO says that it's impossible to actually scan, search a cell in true, deep fashion.
Sans la présence d'un représentant de la Société québécoise des infrastructures, le propriétaire du bâtiment.
C'est toute beauté dans le mur, puis ça...
What? So I don't really get what they're saying here. He says that it's not possible to commit to a full search of every cell, or let's say they choose a cell. They can't commit to doing a deep search, a real authentic one, because of legal problems, such as he needs to have, I think he said you got to have the superintendent, or they said the owner of the prison. To me, the word owner of the prison makes zero sense. So it's a matter of wordplay, you know, what they really mean. I'm guessing that whoever, the director, some other authority figure that has to be present if he wants to ever do that deeper search because of violation of rights. That's what I'm thinking they're talking about. It's the usual Canada stuff that I try to tell you how ridiculous it's getting.
Des infrastructures, le propriétaire du bâtiment.
C'est toute beauté dans le mur, puis ça, nous, on n'a pas les outils, on n'a rien. Ça prend quelque...
He's saying the owner of this establishment, whatever that means. Now they're saying they're talking about they're not able to, I don't know, break open walls, such as they think maybe they're hiding this inside of the walls. It's a little difficult for me to understand what they're saying here. The owners of the prison don't let them search the cells because they will break them searching. Because they will break them. Okay, break the walls searching, right?
Quelqu'un de la SQI pour défaire tout ça.
Le syndicat des agents de la paix en service correctionnel estime que les établissements doivent s'adapter aux nouvelles façons de faire des criminels.
Même si on a des établissements plus récents tels que Robertval, on
Even if we have new establishments that are newer, like the Robertval, the one in question here,
voit que ça a été mal conçu, mal
we see that they were badly designed,
pensé par
badly thought over
le gouvernement
by the government
au niveau justement de l'évolution qu'il y a eu
in terms of the evolution that we have witnessed
des technologies,
of technologies.
le fait que les livraisons par drone amènent des outils, les gens
The fact that there's, for example, drone deliveries, they're delivering stuff by drone.
modifient leur cadre de fenêtre, réussissent à briser des fenêtres pour aller chercher ce matériel-là.
And the fact that they can break windows to go get these materials.
Il est clair que, vous savez, c'est pas populaire au niveau du gouvernement d'investir dans les établissements de détention.
So yeah, he says that you'd have to make real investments in. He didn't say it, but technology. And what he did say is that our governments, they're severely underfunding this. They don't see the benefit of this. When they say like in a company. How you say, the sales department, they believe in that. They'll pay them a little bit better. They'll treat them a little better. And then there's other departments like a call center, customer service. They're gonna treat them like absolute slaves. Treat them horribly, milk them, bad conditions, because for them this is just an expense type of thing. So these prisons are just an expense. They're not really willing to do what it needs to be done. And these days, when you really think about it, with the genius of technology that we have, they're able to they could do so much now with the AI stuff. They could probably have a camera pointing back at the building itself and scanning each window, and at any moment, if a window breaks, that camera with the artificial intelligence could detect what's going on, send a signal, a warning. All that stuff, it can easily be built. I'll give you an example in Quebec, especially when it comes to technology, investing, and things like that. I'm sorry to say, we're always way behind stuff that it's very normal, very basic when you go to New York, you go to Tokyo, you go to other places, such as when you go to the subway, For the longest time, you had to buy these, you want to fill up your card. They could not, it's still so archaic. It's so complicated. I don't even want to get into it, but I want to just let you know, it's like 10 years, 15 years ago, it's way too late where they are now, and they recently just modified it, so if you want, you can... If your subway pass, you can load it from home. Yeah, we could do it before, but you have to get this specific device at your place, plug it through USB. Now it's over. Now they finally, they're so late. Now that you could do it by your phone. Now you could finally do it, but. This is not even, it's still a nightmare. If you want to travel in Montreal, oh no, you need this Opus card for Zone A, this Opus card for just bus. It's not one card either. Huh? It's like, oh no, you need to have this card if you're going to go. I'm talking about physical card, I'm just trying to show you how late it's very specific to Quebec for me, When I look at this, I say, man, we are the R word, So late. What the hell is this? Guys, I want to really highlight this so you understand. If it's going on for the subway system, what do you think is going to happen for a freaking prison? They could care less about that. The subway system is something we use every day, and they're not even modern about it. Guys, you need a specific card if you're going to use the bus. And then you need a specific card if you're going to use a subway. And then it's like, no, you need a specific card if this is going to be a bus pass for a monthly one. But if you want to use individual units, like tickets, like you don't want to buy a monthly one, you want to buy the ticket one, then you need a specific card to load on that one. You need like 4 different cards, man. Yeah, for every little purpose. It's so archaic, But imagine if it's like that for taking the subway. They're never going to fix this. I'm just trying to make you realize this. What I explained to you about having cameras point back, make AI software detect, scan each window to see if it's broken or not, look at the skies, or even just have a device that'll, in El Salvador, they have it locked down. Cell phones don't work in prison. They have signal jammers. These guys can't even figure this out. Something so easy. El Salvador. You know, that's not a first world country. They have signal jammers. Over here, they don't even. It's not even crossing their mind. It's too complicated to even get this out of the door to even speak about it. You need to have 10 committees, people wasting people's time, and vote. Let's have a meeting about if we're gonna have the meeting. That's where we are at here. Over here, it's really a joke. Sorry about that, but yeah, this is it for the prisons here.
Le syndicat estime par ailleurs qu'il manque environ 20 agents en service correctionnel à la prison de Roberval.
So they're saying at least 20 COs for this prison alone. This one alone, this one. And I'm sure they took the lowest estimate, It's if everyone's working and you got no days off. If you take a day off, you're fired type of scenario. It's usually like that in every capitalistic system we have here.
De nombreux membres appartenant à des groupes criminels ont été arrêtés et sont maintenant détenus. Leur présence change le climat dans les...
So numerous members of organized crime are arrested and their presence in prison is changing the climate, they're saying. Remember, there's a war going on, right?
prisons.
Le modus operandi de la Blood Family Mafia,
The modus operandi of the Blood Family Mafia,
c'est assez simple, c'est la violence.
it's simple, it's violence.
Plus t'es violent, plus tu montes.
More you're
C'était pas
violent,
grave.
more you climb.
On ne sait absolument pas ce que le détenu a en sa possession.
We do not know what the detainees have in their possession. He's talking about weapons and stuff.
Les agents se méfient davantage lors des transports de détenus par fourgon quand ils portent leur arme de service.
Mon arme de service, oui, c'est pour défendre ma vie. J'ai jamais eu le feeling que ma vie pouvait être en danger. Aujourd'hui, avec tout ce qui se passe,
So I've never felt like my life was in danger before. But today, with everything that's going on,
armes à feu, les BFM, ils tirent partout. À cette heure, quand on se promène en fourgon, pour de vrai,
okay. He says I was, they're I guess they're roaming. They're doing these patrols around the prison. Every hour or so, it's your turn to go do the patrol, and then you sign it in your logs and things like that. They were never worried before, but now they're saying because these guys are crazy. I wouldn't be shocked if I'm doing my patrol and they might just do a drive-by in front of the prison. For whatever reason, maybe the inmates are chilling in the courtyard for a recess or whatever, and the BFM sends their shooters to come and do a hit in the courtyard, which actually happened during the biker war. That actually happened between bikers. That actually happened, guys. So he's not. It's not far-fetched what he's saying. Today the standards have dropped much lower. But that standard was already low. So that's nothing. That could happen. And he's saying that he's afraid of even patrolling around with their vehicle. I think that's what he was talking about.
oui, j'ai une crainte. Oui, on se dit tout, ça va être qui le prochain? Ça va être qui le premier à se faire tirer?
Le ministère de la Sécurité publique
No worry, he just said, I'm worried who's going to be first to get shot. Him or them, whatever.
a décliné notre demande d'entrevue. Par écrit, il précise toutefois que certaines fouilles en milieu carcéral nécessitent des équipements spécialisés et du personnel formé de la Société québécoise des infrastructures. Il ajoute aussi que
All right, he's just saying that it's so complicated to even search an inmate. You need to have a specialized training, and you need to have this type of personnel to do it specifically. Whatever, I'm guessing they're talking about the rights too in there. So you need to have to be formed. It's more complicated than just searching them. It's got to be more complicated than it should be, guys.
certains points qui ont été soulevés dans notre reportage se retrouvent à la table de négociation avec les agents en service correctionnel.
So the government, whoever's in charge of our government, the guy who's going to get all the blame for the incompetence of everyone else, he's meeting with the COs and they're discussing and blah, blah, blah,
Sont en train de renouveler leur convention
Give me 1 sec, I
collective.
might have lost
Et
my-
enfin, en 2023, le ministère a annoncé
I did it. Sorry about that, guys. I got a problem. I get this. I have to fix that. My apologies. This sucks. All right. Sorry about that. I got a problem. I like last time. It's complicated. Don't worry about it. Sorry.
36 millions de dollars pour augmenter la sécurité dans ces établissements de détention.
Wait a second. Did you
Renouveler
say?
leur convention collective. Et enfin, en 2023, le ministère a annoncé 36 millions de dollars pour augmenter la sécurité dans ces établissements de
So in 2023, that public official, whatever, promised well, she said $36 million for all this, basically. All right, we're gonna move on from this story. Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to show you because I saw it. Statistics of seizures of cell phones inside of detentions in the East. So look at that. We have to start at the bottom here. April till June 2024, 118 cell phones seized. Remember, this is not all the prisons in Quebec. I'm assuming these are the prisons in the East, whatever that means. Whatever that means. It might mean the North Coast and the Red Zone. It might mean that. Might mean that because it says corrections in the East. But regardless, just look at this. April till June 2024, at the heat of this BFM wars, 118 cell phones. Then after that, July till September, this one, this fall. Then it goes to 56. October till Christmas, right here, we're at 83. So you add these up, guys. It's like what? I don't know. It's like 130-ish, 140. You add another 120 to this. It's like what? 140 plus 120. It's 260. Sorry, I have brain fog. I think it's like 260, right? 260 cell phones in prison, guys. Not the full year and not all of them. Imagine that. So they're definitely sneaking it up the butthole. Deliveries by drones. Okay. Oh, look, this is good to know here. Look, in Quebec, about 250 jobs are vacant for COs, and 320 others are on break, or maybe on vacation, on leave. That's the word, right? On leave. Ça se passe plus le soir. Ils vont briser une fenêtre et se faire le... Yeah, they say it happens at night when they break the rules, these inmates. They break a window, and then they get this package delivered to them at night, exactly, by drones. It's freaking genius, man, when you think about it. With the drone situation, it changes everything. They break the windows, and they use a hook. They also use a hook. Amazing, the stuff you could do, man. Crazy. I'm just looking at the stats here. What is it? Statistics on the events implicating a drone in detention. Again, in the eastern prisons, whatever that means. Let's go backwards here. So April till June, 53 observations. Out of these 53 observations, they're saying 40 deliveries. 16 were seized. They're saying 40% récupération. I'm not sure what that means, 40% récupération. 16 out of 40, that's not 40%, is it? It's not. Or is it? Because 20, yeah, it's close. I guess it's that. Because 20 would be 50, right? 16 is close to 50. It might be that. It might actually be that. But here, 40 deliveries. Then after that, it's 43 for July to September. And after that, it's 49 deliveries by drone. That's a lot of deliveries by drones, man. That's a lot of deliveries by drones. So this is how they're getting their stupefiers, And where are we at here? Just trying to double check. Can we learn anything from this without actually reading this line by line? Yeah, the $38 million they were owed. Or promised, sorry. Yeah, that's old news. Okay, we're going to skip to the next one. All right. Murder in Montreal North in 2017. 2 killers who had gotten away with it will have to face trial again, they're saying. What is this about? Condemned to 6 years for homicide, for involuntary homicide. François Dukakis will have to go on in court again for the first-degree murder of Valérie Bélanger in Valerie, I guess that's a girl, in Montreal North on the 29th of August 2017. So it's a 2017 story. We definitely don't know about this. But what will it teach us? That's what matters. We're trying to learn about the underworld, even if these stories have nothing to do with Hells Angels or street gangs or anything like that. We're trying to learn from these stories so that then we can use this knowledge to understand other things better. And when we don't have all the facts of a story, we can, what's the word, speculate. We can speculate more reasonably, more intelligently. And then you saw how that works out. Lots of times we've had a bullseye out of that, you know. It was fascinating to watch it. But here we are, June 2020, and in the midst of the pandemic, they say. Sorry about that, let me just zoom in for you. So in the midst of we're not going to read that. So they found the DNA. They have the DNA of François and Willie Jr. Saint-Jean, okay? The two men had planned the assassination of Valérie Bélanger, a trafficker. Man, I'm wondering, they assassinate a woman? Is that a woman? Because Valerie usually is a woman, right? But you never know, because it's a Valerie with a Y. And did they really assassinate a woman? Usually you think guys don't do that, you know? That's why I'm wondering if this is actually a dude. But anyways, two men had planned the assassination of a Valérie Bélanger, trafficker of cane and green plant. Yep. It says here, the woman or girlfriend of François, one of the killers, and his woman is an escort, had exchanged numerous messages with the victim. So it looks like Valerie is a woman. It's lining up a little bit. So the guy's girlfriend is setting it up. The guy's girlfriend is setting up the murder, helping to set up the murder, it looks like. And they find the DNA of Willie Jr. Saint-Jean on a hat near the victim. And then for that, François gets condemned to... Remember, there are two guys. There's Willie Jr. and a François, okay? They get condemned for that for 6 years, and what would they call it? Involuntary. 6 years involuntary. How do you involuntarily murder someone? I understand if it was a car accident, you know? But when you go rob somebody, it's not like the woman was having a fist fight with you, and then you punched her out, and, you know, how do you accidentally murder a woman? Tell me that. As to Willie Jr. Saint-Jean, the shooter, you know, I guess you involuntarily shot her, huh? You were afraid of your life. That woman was so scary. But as to Willie Jr. Saint-Jean, the shooter, he got 10 years in detention. So one of them was involuntary, I guess, but the other one did get 10 years. You usually don't get 10 for involuntary in Canada. That's full-on murder. You get this 10 years, and then you do 2/3, and you're out in 6. That's why they do it. That's why it's so worth it. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm kidding, you know. I'm just trying to show you the ridiculousness of all this. The judge in the process had basically moved away from first degree. And that's the key in this affair, they're saying. According to the court of Quebec, the judge, when she did that, had committed 2 mistakes by rejecting the more grave accusation of it being first degree, you know, intentional. Let's see. First, the judge had usurped or overridden or nullified, whatever that means, the function of the jury by evaluating the evidence in a way that's too extreme, I guess, is what they're saying. I'm not sure yet, guys. They're giving us an example. For example, the judge had concluded that one could not infer that this was a premeditated act without knowing, in the absence of a motive. And this, they're saying now they're saying this analysis was erroneous because the absence of evidence of a motive does not mean that the evidence of is not equal to the evidence of absence of a motive. Yeah, the wordplay is crazy, but if I was reading it myself, I'd probably understand. The judge Royer has also, we're gonna skip this, guys. We're not gonna go through all that. I just wanted to see if we can. So we're not gonna learn anything deep from this, guys. It's really there. So what's the storyline? Is 2 guys, they wanted to set up a girl to steal her stuff. Girl ends up dead. So the heart of the matter is, did they go in there planning to kill her and to take her stuff? Or did they go there and things escalated, and then one thing led to the next in the heat of the moment. They had no choice to pull the trigger. Usually that means that you yourself were in danger. It escalated. It got to a dangerous scenario. Now I don't know. You're two men here, and you have a woman there. How could it escalate to the point where you had to kill her? I'm not buying this. Well, they look like they're looking back at this now, and they're saying, I don't think it's that. I don't think this could be so involuntary as that. Whatever that means. But anyways, man, yeah, it's interesting. For once, it sounds like not so much of a clown show. So a new process, they will do a new court for this. They will redo the whole thing. But if with this new with the new intention, you could get a prison for life. In Canada, that actually doesn't mean for life. Again, it's pure. It's a jokes. They don't use the real terms here. They like to play. You can get parole in 25 years or after 25 years or something. All right, we're going to move this. I was expecting a little bit more from that story. Okay, main story, man. Main freaking story. The big one. We go to the red zone. That means we're talking about most likely BFM versus the Hells Angels' pipeline. Okay? First murder of the year in Quebec. Are they talking about Quebec province? Of course not. They're talking about Quebec City, and Beauport is probably one of the areas there. I know for sure it is, but I always forget if that it's. I'm not gonna get into that. In Quebec, there's neighborhoods, there's towns, and then there's cities, and inside of cities, sometimes they diffuse them, then they refuse them. It's complicated, So you don't even know what to call these anymore. They change their mind every decade. But a man was crippled with bullets in broad daylight in Beauport, so in the Quebec City area, in the dead middle of the heat. We said red zone. We didn't say just Quebec City. Remember, I showed you the map, and I started to point much more south than the city, other towns. Now we're talking about Beauport. We're really talking about the heart here. We're talking about the heart. We're not on the outskirts of the red zone. We are in the middle of the heat. So a guy got sprayed in the middle of the day. Last one that we had like this was Hells Angel underling. Inside of the Hells Angels underling. And he got killed in broad daylight in front of that condo. And then remember they said they had camera footage. His assassin came by bicycle. You remember that one? So that was the last one that was during the middle of the day. It was not 6 months ago. It was like last month. At most, a month and a half or so. 2 months? No way. I don't think it was 2 months ago. It was like probably a month ago. Remember that one? I was big. Now, that was the one that happened during the middle of the day. There was another one that happened in the middle of the day also. Again, red zone. That one was... Remember, I was confused about it. So it was in front of a hotel, right? There was a motel or a hotel parking lot. Some guy, apparently, he may have not even had anything to do with any of this. I'm not sure what the hell was going on. He's an employee who came to chill in Quebec or wherever this area was, that hotel. He left. He walked out in the parking lot, and they sprayed him, and I think they killed him, right? Remember that one? It was so confusing. But it ended up being mistaken identity. Am I wrong, guys? If I got that one confused, let me know. At this point, it's impossible for me to remember. Even if that was pretty recent, it was like in the last 2 months. But you remember, broad daylight, they almost killed. They did. I think they did kill the guy, or they almost killed him. One or the other. But they freaking fatally shot the guy in front of when he left the motel. Now, I'm not telling you that for nothing. I'm actually, it sounds like I'm wasting your time. I'm not. Broad daylight, those two last month. This one that I just told you in front of the hotel, I thought when I was discussing it with you, not having too much information, that the guy, he came to that hotel on purpose. He was going to have a meeting. They set him up and they blasted the poor guy. But the circumstances, the facts came out later that no, he was a regular, normal person, it seems, that he went to that hotel and they mistakenly were looking for somebody else. They sprayed him. Mistakenly, in broad daylight. Now remember that. Yes, I cheated. Yes, I cheated. I'm setting you up here. Now let's watch this video. I didn't see the video though, but I saw another article, so I know something that you probably don't. That's why I'm setting you up here. Let me just play this. Sorry
À Québec,
that.
maintenant, un homme de 62 ans a perdu
I hope you guys can hear it. Sorry about that. I'm trying to make sure you do hear it.
la vie dans le secteur Beauport. Élie, il s'agit du premier meurtre de l'année à Québec.
The first murder of the year in
Exactement,
Quebec.
des événements qui ont débuté peu après 14 heures alors qu'un appel a
So the events happened after 2 p.m.
été logé au 911 concernant un homme atteint par balle dans cette résidence du boulevard
They received a call about a man getting shot in this residence.
des Chutes. Vous l'avez dit, Simon, aussi à Beauport, à l'angle de la rue Régent, cette maison que vous voyez en briques jaunes. Alors, l'homme de 62 ans,
The man is 62 years old, the victim.
transporté rapidement vers un centre hospitalier alors
Transported to the hospital.
qu'il était en arrêt cardio-respiratoire.
Poor
Le
guy.
décès de l'homme est constaté
Dang, man, the guy passed away. Okay, the guy is dead
à l'hôpital. Pour ce qui
in the hospital.
est des suspects, les policiers du service de police de la Ville de Québec qui vont recevoir une bonne quantité, un bon nombre d'informations assez rapidement.
So now he's saying that the police receive tons of information after this murder. I guess people called the line. Maybe there were witnesses. Maybe people phoned in. Basically, people were phoning in, or they have informants. Whatever the situation, they got lots of incoming data. People contacting them. Okay.
Qui fait en sorte que 15 minutes plus tard, après les événements environ, on retrouve le véhicule avec 3 personnes à son bord du côté.
Wow. They got so much information and seemingly useful that did he just say 15 minutes later? So 15 minutes after these events? That's crazy to me. It seems like 15 minutes after the events, they already had people in a car arrested. Let's just check this.
Véhicule avec 3 personnes. L'événement environ, on retrouve que 15 minutes plus tard, après les événements
Yup, 15 minutes after the shooting, guys.
environ, on retrouve le véhicule
They find the vehicle
avec 3 personnes à
with 3 people inside of it.
son bord du côté de Sainte-Foy, à quelques kilomètres d'où on se trouve présentement. Les 3 personnes, 3 hommes âgés entre 18 et 40 ans,
So the 3 men aged between 18 and 40
sont arrêtés.
are arrested.
Et selon nos informations qui n'ont toujours pas été confirmées par les policiers, on aurait retrouvé une arme à feu à l'intérieur du véhicule.
So not confirmed, but they found a tool inside of their vehicle.
Et les 3 personnes proviendraient de l'extérieur de la région.
And the 3 guys, look at this, exactly what you would want to hear. The 3 guys, so they came here to Beauport is where the murder happened. Oh yeah, and it's the same scenario as usual. They're not from Beauport. They come from outside. Does that ring any bells, guys? Almost every single BFM hit we spoke about happens exactly like this. Not that it's anything special or unique, but you need to notice that.
Là-dessus, je laisse entendre l'ex-enquêteur au service de police de la Ville de Québec, Roger Ferland, qui nous parle de l'importance de la rapidité pour les policiers d'avoir reçu autant d'informations précises sur le véhicule qui a fui les lieux.
So they're just about to glorify the fact that citizens have helped because they received tons of... Remember, the shooting happened and then they received tons of calls, tons of information, whoever it was, however many people it was. Seems like there was plenty of people. That 15 minutes after the shooting happened, they arrested those guys. Crazy. They stopped the vehicle that the guys were in.
Les premières minutes sont tellement importantes dans
All right, he's going to be dancing with words and saying not much. I'm going to skip him. You know why. You've been here a while.
la violence urbaine.
He's going to dance. I can see it.
Et je suis quand même assez impressionné de voir de quelle façon ils se sont communiqués aussi rapidement pour arriver à intercepter un véhicule qui ne semble pas être des gens de la région. Je trouve ça le fun. 3 personnes. Là, voyez-vous, mais encore là, tout n'est pas terminé, Sébastien.
He didn't say anything. He was dancing.
Et On le comprend, Simon, l'enquête qui se poursuit pour tenter de comprendre les causes et les circonstances, bien évidemment,
Yeah.
stupéfiants.
They're already not saying, yeah. Sorry, it's just absolutely saying nothing. Don't worry, but pal. We've seen it all. I'm going to read in the article here. We're going to scan this article. I'm definitely scanning with concentration, unlike the previous ones, because this is the stuff that we're interested in. Same scenario here. Are they going to give us an extra? Oh, no extra. I thought they were going to possibly speak. My only question is, did they spray him inside of his place? Did they knock? You remember the other ones? It was a matter of they knock the door, the person approaches the door, and they shoot through the door. That was one of the previous cases. It was like that. The other one was they break through the door, they got inside, and they shot the guy. Remember? And that was mistaken identity when that happened. Sorry, I failed to mention this scenario that happened earlier. I talked about another one. Don't confuse them. But, okay. Yeah, we're going to be... There's an update to this. Yeah, there's nothing here. So that's the vehicle with the guys arrested, I guess. Remember? Yeah. Well, no, maybe not. Yeah, it does look like it. I guess that's the vehicle. Find it odd. Why would they show us this? The guys are not in it. I guess that's the vehicle. Anyways. Yeah, that's got to be it. They're focusing on this too much. Can we get any extra details from this article? No? Okay, look at the next one. Very interesting turn of events. 2 suspects. Earlier they said 3, right? I thought I heard 3. Now it's 2 suspects. If I made a mistake, I apologize, guys. Beauport, 2 suspects, of which one is barely an adult, so I guess he just turned 18, and the other one was 40, right? Accused of premeditated murder. The person killed yesterday, victim of a mistaken identity. Da, da, da. Yeah, see, I was setting you up for this. I saw this article. I saw the title, and I was like, damn. So, you see, mistaken identity. This is a repetitive dynamic, huh? Mistaken identity. And it's exactly, it looked like the same scenario. They go to the guy's house. The guy opens the door, and it actually happened. Yeah, man. Remember the one I showed you with the old man? And the old man was afraid of being on camera, remember? And then he said, man, I don't know why. It's the second time this happened. They go to an old man's house, the wrong old man, and they try to kill him. Very interesting, isn't it? That's happening again, man. And one of those was, they thought Alboivin himself, the cops were pretty certain. It was Alboivin himself that sent those people to his house. The cops were certain of this. Here you have the exact same pattern repeating itself. Exact same pattern. It looks like in the same way. Maybe not the door thing I told you about, because we don't know. But look, mistaken identity. The guy is also over 60 years old, the victim. You see the pattern repeat itself. You wonder if it's got to be who's doing who to who. I'm assuming with the 18-year-old kid hitting the old man again, same pattern. I'm assuming it's more it's the same thing. BFMers being sent to go to this address. They got the wrong guy, the wrong address, or simply there was not the right person at that address at that moment. Let's see. Let's learn.
L'année dans la ville de Québec, l'homme de 62 ans qui a été criblé de balles hier dans le secteur
Crippled with bullets, the 62-year-old man.
De Beauport a été l'objet, écoutez bien, d'une erreur sur la personne.
Object of a mistaken identity or a mistaken person.
C'est ce que TVA Nouvelle, voilà, a appris. Et sa mort serait liée à la guerre des stupéfiants qui a fait donc une...
And his death would be tied to the stupefier war.
Deuxième victime innocente.
The second innocent victim.
En quelques semaines seulement.
In a couple of weeks only. Interesting. And he says in a couple of weeks only. Did we just cover one in the recent weeks that was a mistaken identity? I did cover one with you, and I did it on one of our recent videos, but that one wasn't a mistaken recently. That was from last year, 2024, unless my memory is bad.
Comme nous l'explique Marc-André Boulian.
L'homme de 62 ans qui a été atteint mortellement par balle vendredi dans cette maison de chambre du secteur Beauport à Québec serait une autre victime collatérale de
Another
cette guerre des
collateral
stupéfiants,
victim.
selon plusieurs sources. L'individu qui était visé serait un membre du Blood Family Mafia.
Whoa, this was a big twist, actually. Look at this, guys. Complete shocker. Completely the reverse of what I thought. Check this.
L'individu qui était visé
The person who was targeted
serait un membre du Blood Family Mafia de
would have been a member of the Blood Family Mafia. Wow. So they're targeting Blood Family Mafia members. This time, when they went to kill the 62-year-old man, the persons who sent the killers, it was not the BFM. Because they were going to go kill a BFM member. Interesting, isn't it? So who would have ordered the killing of BFM members? Well, it will have to necessarily be the Hells Angels from the Hells Angels' interests. Now you see the Hells Angels hiring some kid who's barely 18, with a 40-year-old guy to go do this. So unless it's BFM sending a hit to kill one of their own, unless it's that. Let's keep listening.
Dave Picturmel. Pour le moment, la police de Québec ne confirme pas l'information. Selon ce résident de la maison de chambre,
I don't get it. Now he says the police are not confirming that information. So where did you get that information? Me, I'm only interested if you got the information from the police. If the police told you that, that's when I trust these.
Pour le moment, la police de Québec ne confirme qui était visé par des stupéfiants selon plusieurs sources. L'individu qui était visé serait un membre du Blood Family Mafia de...
So yeah, they believe. So far, guys, we can't take this too serious. The person they think was targeted was supposed to be a BFM member, but they didn't get this from the cops, or the cops are not confirming this, whatever that means.
Selon ce résident de la maison de chambre, l'homme visé ne vivait plus sur place depuis 4 mois.
Now, according to this neighbor, I'm not sure if he lives in one of the rooms in this unit or he lives in a home right next door. Whatever the case, he's from this area. He's from this very close. He knows the people here. And he says that, so the journalist told him, hey, apparently it's a Blood Family Mafia member who was targeted. And these journalists know who this targeted member is. It's not like because they spoke to this man here, and they gave him the identity clearly, because then the man told the journalists, oh, that guy, he does not live here. He hasn't lived here in a couple of months. So that means these journalists, when they say it was a BFM member, they actually know who that BFM member was that was supposed to get killed that day. Who was the actual target? These journalists seem to know.
Ne vivait plus sur place depuis 4 mois.
So he did not live there for at least 4 months.
Je vois pas l'intérêt de 4 mois plus tard que cette personne-là reste plus ici, qu'il y aurait eu une tentative de meurtre sur cette personne-là qui n'est plus dans le secteur. Ça n'a aucune logique, là.
He says it makes no sense that 4 months after he moved out of here, they would send someone to come here. It makes no sense.
Il affirme aussi que la victime, Étienne Brière, un retraité de 62 ans, n'avait aucun lien avec le crime organisé.
The 62-year-old retiree had absolutely nothing to do with any organized crime or crime.
Il n'y a personne qui est lié à rien du tout dans le secteur. Il n'y a personne qui a d'affaires à vivre ça, là. Ça fait de la peine.
Yeah, he says, it's not something this guy should have even had to worry about. It didn't deserve any of this. It hurts to find this out.
C'est un bon gars, là. C'est un très bon gars.
He was a good dude.
Les 3 individus qui ont été arrêtés dans une voiture sur l'autoroute Henri IV dans les minutes suivant l'homicide font face à la justice.
So now they're saying it's 3 people who were arrested inside of the vehicle.
2 hommes, Mathieu Kino, 31 ans, et Nathan Chimaga, 18 ans, ont été accusés.
Did he say? Let me just repeat that.
Nathan Chimaga, 18 ans, justice. 2 hommes, Mathieu Kino, 31 ans, et
Now, okay, so the two men that are charged, there's three people. Remember we heard one was 41? Well, they didn't charge that dude. It looks like they charged a man that's in his 30s and the 18-year-old one that I told you about.
Nathan Chimaga, 18 ans, ont été accusés de meurtre au premier degré.
And they're being accused first degree premeditated.
Par visioconférence samedi au Palais de justice de Québec.
And today they appeared by video conference in front of the judge.
L'autre homme de 40 ans a été libéré sous promesse de comparaître.
And the 41-year-old was released, but he will promise to appear in court somehow.
Chapeau aux policiers hier qui ont été extrêmement efficaces rapidement pour cerner et arrêter les...
He's saying kudos to the cops for acting so quickly, and it's true, man. 15 minutes later, I don't know how this stuff works. You guys could tell I'm clueless, but they got him in 15 minutes.
Les tireurs là-dedans, parce que souvent tu peux les courir très longtemps.
Depuis décembre, au moins 3 erreurs sur la personne.
He says since December, at least 3 times, people were shot or killed by mistake. It was the wrong person.
Lié à cette guerre des stupéfiants.
And tied to this biker versus independence war.
Ont eu lieu, dont 2 qui se sont avérés mortels. Le 16...
And out of those 3 mistaken identities since December, 2 of them, the persons died. So, yeah, I think I told you which one it was, right? The one he came out of the hotel I told you about. He was a legit dude, had nothing to do with it. He got killed by accident. And this one's going to be the second one that got killed by accident. But then he says there's a third. I cannot remember the third. We definitely did cover that. But I can't remember it. For me, the third one was months ago.
Décembre dernier, une femme de 45 ans a été victime d'un meurtre dans son appartement du quartier Charlebourg.
Ah, that one. Oh, we had just covered this. How could I not remember? Yes, the mother, the 45-year-old mother that got killed, and her son was part of the BFM pipeline. And recently he got arrested. There was a big police operation. They got him out of there. And the police are saying that he's lucky we arrested him because he would be a target. There's a bounty on his head. And if you thought the police were joking, well, this recent event today that we find out about, it's the BFM that have bounty on their heads, and they're getting targeted, right? So the cops, when they did say we got him out of there, they're not talking ish. It's factual. They did save him, even if he didn't want to get arrested. But yeah, that guy, his mother got killed recently. Remember? And he was hiding someplace. The cops went and they arrested him recently. But his mom, when she got killed. They believe they were trying to kill him. They killed his mother by accident. So that's the third one. Okay, good summary, huh?
Puis dans la nuit du 11 au 12 janvier, un homme originaire de l'Ontario a été blessé par balle à la sortie d'un hôtel de Lévis.
The hotel one I told you about.
Ça montre en tout cas une chose, le manque de rigueur et le manque de sérieux que ces organisations-là ont en ce moment.
It says that just shows you the lack, basically, of professionalism, the lack of in-depth. I don't know how to translate this correctly, but it's the idea is there. The lack of in-depth preparation or work or professionalism from these clans right now who are committing these murders. You cannot tell us right now that, oh, it's the BFM. They're the ones only that are disorganized, and they're the ones not preparing. The Hells Angels, wow, they're professionals. Well, this hit didn't come from the BFM, friend, and they got the wrong person too. Not taking sides here. I could care less. I'm giving you my opinion based on what's happening here. They're both. What he's saying here, the lack of good preparation. They're not serious. It's for both of them. It applies to both.
La façon qu'ils font leur recherche,
the way that they do the research,
qu'ils font les surveillances,
the way that they're doing their surveillances,
et l'approche qu'ils font avec les gens,
and the approach that they're using with their people,
est très très mauvaise.
It's very very bad.
Alors, l'enquête entourant ce premier meurtre à survenir en 2025 sur le territoire de la ville.
Crazy, huh? What a twist of events. So the Hells Angels, there's people, or people who work for them or want to make them happy. After all this time, they're starting to take shots. Or maybe they just didn't know, they couldn't find people to take shots at. Well, it seems like it, because look, they barely are, and they're getting the wrong people. Sounds like that's what was going on before. They could not find people to target. It's so difficult that when they seemingly are about to act, it's not even the right person. Well, it goes for both of them. But the BFM did land a lot more, I think. Yeah, they made some mistakes too. But they did land on a few for sure. Last year they were not missed. They if they did 3, One of them was a mistake. Two of them was not a mistake. Remember the ones where they were taping the guys with videos, cutting their ears off, and then coming the next day to another place. We had it like a whole week event. It was February 2024, around that time. So, anyways, man, it's interesting. It continues, man. It does continue. You guys voted earlier. At the end of this year, I made a poll. I asked you what your opinion was. Do you think 2025 is gonna be crazy again or crazier? You guys, majority of you said yes. It's gonna be crazier. Well, I guess you're on the right track because not that we didn't see anything too crazy yet, but because last year it was only the BFM doing stuff. That was the only news that I covered, pretty much. We had only one time in last year. Remember the chalet burning? We found out that it was the enemies of the BFM. They were trying to hurt the BFM. That was the only one. Well, now you're seeing the other side acting like them, doing the same thing now. But 2024 is going to be hard to outdo. The biker burning, and then we found out Arab Power had a hand in it. They sent that kid with an AK-47 to go burn their bunker, and then he got killed himself there. By who? We don't know. His own people? I don't know. Everything, that circumstances completely. And then you had the burning of the old Montreal buildings, and you found out that lawyer that I told you that he represents a lot of street people from the West Island. Remember that? I told you about this, and that doesn't come from this article. That comes from someone told me this, not someone from YouTube, from email anonymous, someone that I know personally who used him, and he told me this. So then we found that lawyer, his office, they drive by his office after, and that guy had a building before that burned, same circumstance type of thing. No, well, this year they burned another one. And and then we found out that the guys burned that area, but they were extorting that area too. And then there's a competition for who's going to extort that area, allegedly. That part's allegedly. It just keeps piling up crazy, with whichever side you're looking at it. It's good. It's been going crazy. 2023, I thought it was crazy. It was unbelievable when Gregory Woolley got offed. Remember that? He got offed in November 2023. That was unbelievable. Just 2 months before him, for the first time ever, a biker got killed by people who we allegedly are from the Independence BFM. Now that was crazy enough. That was like in September, October 2023. And then 2 months later, and that same year, we were reading about Woolley was getting warning shots at his house. And he finally decided that living behind the woods, having the woods behind his house, it's not a good idea. That's how old man Rizzuto got sniped. He was getting these warnings. They were like sending shots at his house, and there's a forest behind his place. He got paranoid. He thought he definitely needs to move out of there. And that's what we were reading throughout the year. And then September, the biker dude gets killed. I forgot which biker he belonged to. Was it Marauders? I don't remember. No, it wasn't Marauders. It was from Quebec City, somewhere over there. I can't remember. But he gets killed. That was incredible news. Not that I celebrate that. When I say incredible, I mean it's unbelievable news of how that could happen. And then 2 months later, Gregory Woolley got offed in 2023. And then the Gregory Woolley one, it was the most surprising one I've ever read. For me, that one was never going to get topped. Sounds like it wasn't in the realm of possibility ever, when someone lives that long and he's the one doing all the killing. But then that was crazy. So that was 2023, and then you could not convince me 2024 was going to top that. I would have never believed you. But 2024 started on February, and we went full blown BFM. We cracked that open, not because I'm good. It cracked in front of us. The whole thing landed on our laps, and that was unbelievable. And then it was a ride. You thought that it cannot be surpassed. February of 2024, everything we were seeing with the BFM stuff, you thought it could not be surpassed. But it got surpassed by fall. Fall, we had the biker attack, a bunker attack with the kid. We found out the Arab Power stuff with downtown, and then we found out they're basically helping the BFM, whether they're intentional or not, trying to burn their the bunker sending the kid. The thing got crazier, you know. It was unbelievable. So and then here I am, let's say, telling you I don't think that could really be topped, you know. And then I asked you on a poll, what do you think? Is it possible 2025 is going to top 2024? You guys say yes. Me, I'm a hard-headed person, you know. I personally think, how could it? How could it, you know? Well, we are February right now, and so far, has anything absolutely crazy happened yet? Maybe we're numb to it. You know, maybe we're numb to it. Me, the last 2 months, there has been stuff. There has been stuff. We covered them, but it hasn't been topped yet. It might actually be a calmer year. But this is the indicator. This is where I might change my mind because of this one today, where we have another one coming in, another sign that the Hells Angels side might be replying. Last year, they didn't really reply. They replied once as far as we covered, that we know about. This time, we have another one, clear as day today. So this is opening the door, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is this is different. If we needed some sign that would convince us, even if it's a minor sign right now, of a major event to come, this was it. This one was it. It shows us that it's possible. I didn't believe it, really. How are you going to top it? The question is still, how do you top it? How do you top this? Now, I think the one way you could top this year, let me make those predictions here, how you could top it. As far as, best as I could tell you, it could be topped if they arrest or they capture Alboivin. That would be crazy. Or they arrest Pic Turmel, they capture him. Those are two ways that this year could top last. But that's not some crazy news either, you know. It is crazy news if they catch him, but I mean, it's still, will that really shock us as much as the Frampton attacks, the Arab Power stuff? Can it really shock us as much as that he got arrested? That's not the shocker news, right? But I wonder what would be the shocker news. What would it take to be a shocker news this year? One thing I could tell you that could top everything. One that could top it. I'm certain of this, but I'm not saying it's going to happen, and I don't wish it to happen. The one thing that could top it is if I open the news with you and we're reading about Hells Angels get assassinated in broad daylight. Which, by the way, was supposed to happen about, 2-3 weeks ago. Maybe no more than a month ago. It was supposed to happen. Remember the guy? I forgot what his name was. It just, the newspapers glossed over it. They didn't make a big fuss out of it. I guess because it didn't end up happening. It almost did happen. They had machine guns, and they sprayed his car. He barely escaped. Something like this, right? You remember? I forgot his name. You remember, we covered it like maybe 2-3 weeks ago. But it was quick, just like that, like as if it never really happened. But imagine, if they would have actually gotten him, this would be front page news right now. We would still be talking about that. That would have been the event that I would be speaking to you about right now and saying, yeah, 2025 is already outdoing 2024. That's the one, I think. That's the one. I don't wish that happens, but because I'm tired of all this anyways. Nobody should die. But that's the only one that I think it would be an obvious case of, 2025 passes 2024. That's it. But if you have another, if your brain could wrap up around something else that could possibly happen that could make 2025, for me and you, say, it outdid 2024, what would it be, you know? I get tunnel vision, and I got a fog brain, and I can't think more than that. If you do come up with something, sort of like, you know, in the realm of realistic, you know, let us know, man. And then, because if it does happen later on, you just credit goes to you. It's gonna blow our minds, man. That we even said it before it happened, you know. And it's happened, stuff like this where we predicted things did happen in the past. You know this. Some of you know this. That after the fact we guessed what was the cause. We didn't have all the facts, but we guessed it. And then weeks later, it came out in the news, and we were like, whoa, that was crazy. Might be able to pull that off with your help. Anyways, man, shout out to Chris Hinsley, Marcel Mathers, Sheriff, DJ, thank you, DJ, K6 Real, Green Thumb, Mountain Woman, thank you, Sleeping Joe, Mr. J, salute to you, The Real Truth. Thank you so much, pal. I appreciate it. Fly High from Calgary as well. Fly High from Calgary. Melançon, what's up, pal? Melançon. And the youth. Yes, I almost skipped the youth, Sheriff. I almost missed the youth. I don't think I saw him earlier. No, I didn't. And the youth. Exactly. Mr. Forever Young. Everyone give a shout out to Forever Young here. Good evening, good sir. And the Silent Bunch. You know, the dangerous Silent Bunch. You know, you gotta watch out for you, man. You to say nothing. You're a scary fella right there. Thank you for being here, though, buddy. Thank you to everyone. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday, guys. Enjoy yourselves, man. Enjoy your freedom while you have it until Monday. And Marcel Mathers too. Shout out to Marcel Mathers. And stay young like the youth. Try to stay young. At least stay young in the mind, man. Stay young in the mind. God bless.